scientific services for the main interesting activities. We are, as I said, the starting point is sustainable development, which is not a general indication. If you, the modern university is following, as you see, the last terms down, sustainability science. Sustainability science is a term not so diffused, not so popular, but means that it is now creating a new kind of science based upon the idea of which is sustainable, which is not sustainable. So, for example, chips, as I will show, very quickly, our activity is spread all over the world. I mean, I insist, we are an Italian institution, an Italian university, but we are working in the world. For example, in Africa, we had so many different programs, especially because Italy was particularly active in what we say the cooperation for development. The less developed countries should be supported, especially in the 80s and 90s, and we show how many different programs we implemented, and remember, generally speaking, always oriented to sustainable development, which means, yes, we want to South Africa to be developed, but not in any way, just following the criterion of sustainability science and sustainable development. Africa was one continent, but China, for example, at the beginning, in the 70s, now it is impressive to think that, but in the 70s, China was regarded as developing countries. Now it's well developed, but at that time it was part of our cooperation for development. I was just looking for the most important for us, because it is this is the world, and on the right side, as you see, Uzbekistan was a target even in the beginning of this century by 3 different projects that we developed. I said +2 because now here I am present because we are starting 2 new collaborating programs. One is the foundation courses that some of you should know, and the second is an interesting initiatives. A group of almost 40 academic geologists of Uzbekistan from different areas of the country. They will come in Italy because Italy has a particular developed culture in the area of geologism and hydrogeologism. So this group of Uzbek researchers will come for 2 months in Italy, visit 2 big companies, one is Enea and the other is IVA, and will follow a high-level course of 200 hours. So it is just a technical visit, not only important because of the opportunity of exchanging information, but also establishing possible cooperation between the institutions. Nothing is more effective than coming, meeting people, and after that doing even in distance collaboration. So the visit of 40 geologists from Uzbekistan to Italy means that probably a research, a continuous activity will be implemented starting from this experience. These are the two new projects. But of course, coming here and with my good friend Jamshid, Vice Rector, I know him 10 years. 10 years. Because one of the three projects that they were mentioned was implemented together when he was rector of Turin Polytechnic University. We started collaboration, and now we decided to go on in new programs. I will just summarize at the end which are the new ideas. Africa, we know. China, we know. Another important aspect of the inter-university center is that we are a network. And it is the advantage of being a network is that we are in some way, we knew each other, of course, but also we have the possibility of aggregating groups for special research, for special programs, depending on the opportunities. I mean, in some way, even academic world is a business, and we have to support ourselves with financial support that comes from projects like European Commission program of development or some other opportunities. And being a network, it's very important because we say we are so many people, 200, but actually each of the 200 people has his own network, his own friends, different from the 200. So at the end, if you have a program to be developed in an area that some of us don't know how to do, well, by just looking for the other part of the network, generally we found the expert we need. It is important because it's a very big potential activity. Generally, a department in university, or more than a department, has a restricted potentiality because they know them between themselves, they know the activity in that area, but if you should ask for something different, they will not succeed. If you have a network of 200 people, each of them could ask for some friend, at the end you have 2,000 or 3,000 potential researchers. And that is an important aspect because sometimes the expert itself, by working in this project, is much more effective than being in a simple department. And the activity is divided in two areas. One is the area of sections by area. I mean, for example, in Rome, we have the CHIRPS Rome section. In Florence, Florence 6 section. And that is something that could be important if you have to work on something dealing with Florence or Rome. But what is particularly important is the inter-university group. I mean, the sections dealing with, for example, the energy, new energies, or for example, water, or hydrogenic problems, then you have people in Florence, in Rome, in Milan, and they are a potential section virtual. Each of them is in his own university. You go. Yeah, yes, yes.
That's why they are not focused on chips activity.
I go.
It's better.
Sure. Um, for this kind of reason, having these sections means the possibility of, in some way, going in deep analysis for different areas. This was general presentation of a center, inter-university center, but our activity, as I mentioned, is divided in more areas. One is education, the second is research, the third is services. We are here today specially for two of these areas. Education from one side and services. I mean, we discussing with my friend, Vice Rector, we recognized that there is a special aspect in the problems that the student coming from high school have to solve when they start university activity. Why? Because the mentality is totally different. In high school, the idea is to give culture and, well, in some way, a mentality, while the university will give you or should give you mainly things dealing with culture, with the information, criteria of professional aspects, and information, which is the big difference beyond these two aspects. In the school, in the high school, you should at the same time receive education by information, history, geography, and so on. But at the same time, the idea is creating in each of you a mentality open. This is particularly true now because some colleague of mine, he said, well, if I need some information, I have Google, which is true. But the information alone is not enough. If you don't have the culture, the mentality for looking the right question and understanding the answer, you will not succeed. A student of high school should, in part, change his mind when he will be university student, because in this second area, some criteria has been resolved by the school, but all the formation, professional formation, is not already in your disposal. So, what is the point that in some way we try to solve, especially in the new era of information technology, Google, and so on. The idea is the student goes out from the high school and starts attending the university. We have to join him and prepare him to the new mentality. A colleague of mine, which was provoking in some way paradoxally, he said, what is important when you are in high school is not the information, it's the creation of a critical mentality. And he said, at least, paradoxically, you should teach a student in high school unuseful information. Because it's not a matter of giving news, information. That are on Google. What is important is to orient the mentality, open this mentality, and make the student ready for the new professional experience. And that is very important because this change of mentality is not so obvious. A lot of students leave after first or second year the university because they have not matched the new way it's requested for study. So a foundation course is a 6 months or even 1 year, is something that links the two aspects, brings your hand by the high school and share this hand with the new mentality for the university. Having this in mind, you can understand that it is not so important the kind of syllabus of programs that you will develop during this foundation course. The important is to do that by changing in part the mentality and understanding that you are going through something different, something that is preparing you to your professional activity. In that case, you will be able of using, of course, Google information, but also in a critical way. I mean, one of the problems that we front when you use artificial intelligence, AI is a big problem, that they are very, very fast, but not always avoid to be stupid. I mean, even when you experience a translation from, let's say, from your language to English or vice versa, if you don't check, sometimes there are the absolutely big mistake because the AI has not understood or misunderstood some information. So the way, the answer is, yes, I will use AI, Google, and so on, but I must be capable of a critical analysis of what we receive. And that critical analysis is not possible to reach after only high school courses, and theoretically you should already have by starting the university. So there is a lack in the middle. You slowly should change the mentality and will be able of understanding how use Google and how go with your mind, which is most important than Google. That is the main objective of a foundation. We are in Italy, we have a special situation because it is the only one country, and Russia maybe has the same, in which the number of years of high school is 1 year more than yours. Our student finish the high school at 19, almost 20 years, 1 year more. That means, and we discovered at the European level when we try to integrate our systems, that many students of other countries, France, Germany, even UK or Netherlands and so on, they had a mentality a little bit lower because they had 1 year less as studies. And in fact, in many of these countries, the use of foundation is usual. I mean, we have 1 year more, the other one less. That year is covered by a foundation course, a course supplying the criterion for starting the university in the best way. That is the finality, the target we have in mind. Of course, in our course, we will also try to give to your mentality an orientation for sustainability and so on. But the main objective is having the possibility of transferring you from high school to the university that you will learn. And this kind of objective is true also at the point that when you will apply for university, you will have some shortage course. I mean, part of the first year of your academic course is already covered, but by the activity that you had during the foundation course. The conventional first year of a bachelor has 60 credits, valid 60 credits. In your career, 20, 25, 30 credits will be covered by what you have done the year before. That means that it is something not only important for your mentality, but also for your culture in the year. So that is the main objective, the main target of foundation. If you have some question about that, I finished my speech just clarifying this point. For us, it's very decisive. I mean, not changing mentality is too much, but orienting the mentality and preparing for the new activity. That is the main goal. So if you have some question, it's free of charge. Which area, which is your, for example, you are the closer. Which course are you attending in the university for the next year? What do you have in mind?
Actually, I'm not trying to abroad universities, so UK.
Sorry?
UK university.
Studying abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Once abroad.
After foundation, yes?
Maybe.
And you?
No, I work here.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you, the mentality already established.
Yes.
Some other?
I'm trying to enter the Japanese.
Forte. Hi.
Громче.
I want to enter the Japanese university, but they asked me in one foundation year. So I want to try the foundation year in this university.
But I mean, this is a sort of question, or is your position?
This is my position.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And you?
I'm still studying at school, so I'm just sorting out some information. My goal is studying.
I put a question to you. This kind of argument, I mean, I told which we have seen. You had in mind before, or it's just, or you applied for foundation just because you were interested? You understand which is the target of this kind of courses? Yeah. And you?
My goal is foundation year in study in there, and I study in Sapiens University because I'm interested to the university. But the university have not a foundation course for me,
Yeah.
and my choose cybersecurity, and I study at Hard Academy on the cybersecurity. So in the future, I definitely enter the Sapiens University.
Any comment? The question about cybersecurity is particularly relevant in Europe now. CHIRPS was part of a team of 4 institutions, Italian, French, Germany, and I remember Czech, I think. And the purpose, it was a European financed project, and the idea was to, it was not research, it's just a service. The idea was prepare a short course to be delivered by online for the whole public administration personnel. I mean, ministries, regions, municipalities, each operator, gratis, free of charge, they will receive a course indicating the elementary information dealing with cyber security. And in 1 year, we had more than 1 million of users. 1 million. It's a small number if you think that in the whole countries the personnel is 40 millions. But 1 million of people attending for a different time to a course online and at the end having a diploma means that they are sensitive. And the security, cyber security is going to be much more important. Not only virus, it's not a matter of virus, it's a matter of stealing the information and destroying, for example, public administration, taking the data during the formal, even secret information. And if you are aware about that, you can in some way defend. So microsecurity, cyber security is particularly sensitive, and I will think that in the future will be much more important. So,
maybe guys interested in a Bologna process.
sorry?
Bologna process.
Bologna?
Yeah. Bologna process.
Yes, yes. Well, my friend is suggesting that something that which is implicit in what we discussed with now. I mean, the university system in the world, of course, is not always the same. And even in the last 30, 40 years, by integrating so different culture of United States, Europe, Central Asia, Russia, China, and so on, we discovered the importance of having in some way the equivalent system for university in different countries. What I mean? I mean, the globalization means that an Uzbek engineer should go to Congo and collaborate in creating a dam on a river, for example. But the kind of general culture of an engineer Uzbek could not be equivalent with the friend, the colleague that is, for example, a Portuguese engineer. They don't speak always the same language. And that is important also, as I mentioned before. If we start with Italian student that attend university one year later, and the program are not the same, we speak different languages, I mean technical languages. So at the beginning of the century, or the millennium, which means at the beginning of the 2000, there was a big event, important event in so-called Bologna process. It was organized in Bologna. Bologna is a city in Italy, and it is important because they say that they are the first university in the world, first origin, the first created at the beginning of the 13th century. Bologna is the first, Padua is the second, La Sorbona, Parigi is the third, and Rome, La Sapienza, the fourth. These four universities started at the beginning of the 14th century. Well, the Bologna University took the decision of asking the whole university system in the world to discuss about how to homogenize, unify the systems. And for countries like Italy, I don't know in your country, but for Italy, it was an extraordinary change. In Italy, we didn't have the bachelor and the degree, master degree course. We had only one degree, and generally was the fourth of 5 years. We didn't have any 3 years course. After Bologna, we recognized that a lot of professions, of jobs, they don't need a preparation of 4 or 5 years. It's enough for 3 years. For example, a surgery, in the first level of sanitary operators, they don't need to be doctors. In Italy, we didn't have this system. After Bologna, we had to introduce bachelor and master degree. And that is for the whole countries. Many of them are not following the system, but in a very slowly way, we are now everyone adapting to this system. And now for Italian people, it's normal to speak about bachelor and master degree. While 20 years ago, when I was at the beginning in the middle of my careers, it doesn't exist. We had only 5 years engineers of 5 years. Now we have 3 years plus 2. And it's something totally different. Well, Bologna process, one of the things that they outlined is the importance of foundation courses, of this kind of connection between the high school that must be coordinated with the university. Any other aspect? It's okay?
Yeah.
Any question? So, for you that are going to have a foundation course, good luck. For you, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.